I'm muted. Oh no, I'm not muted. Oh my god, it's working. Hi, babies. I should have been a cowboy. Monster like me gay duck. What the frog? And we have a new camera, which is pretty dupian scene. So my hair color is already fading. I don't know how to feel about this. When I was in Amsterdam or Rotterdam or in the Netherlands.
Am I bringing sexy back? Or are you bringing sexy back? Cause hot damn girl, you be looking fire today. I'm so happy to call you my friend. I'm so proud of you and everything you have achieved. I love you lots and lots like jelly tots, you sweet human.
So you are making me cry. What the? You're so sweet. Thank you so much for the sweet message, man. Wait, dry your tears. Dry your tears. Dry your tears. I need my glasses, although my makeup's gonna get ruined. You kissing me tonight? Oh, smash. Oh, this is my new profile. I have a problem. Oh my god, let me show you my photos. Let me show you my gallery. Look at him. Look at us. Just been playing around with the lining. Beautiful. Oh, why is he looking at me like that? I still haven't finished the main story on stream.
I got another notification. It says your trip ended. I guess you're home now.
See, guys, all you have to do in order to find your soulmate is to fake your death in an explosion, kill your grandmother in the process, save such life in the process as well, and then just reappear.
Be
He
good
did
at
it.
directing
Why
forced
couldn't
landings
you?
for dragonflies.
And then you just
It's
get like a
not something a
robotic
person is
arm,
born
and
with,
there
you
you go. Okay, relax time, heart.
Are we measuring heartbeats for fun again? What are you...
Oh,
Hey, stop that. You're the last person I want to mess with, huh?
damn, mate. How does he move with his mermaid tail? This outfit is like
There's nothing
insane.
to see on this outfit's back. The designer clearly put more effort into the front part.
That's
I
your
once saw an otter
natural.
that hugged
That's how
a
you were
fish
born,
and liked
mate.
spinning around.
We are currently trying to fall in love with him. Complete the prophecy. I think that's where we left off. Oh, we killed our groomers. Because that is essentially what they were, groomers. Yeah, right now they kind of live together, but Raphael is always like running away. After returning to Romirro, Raphael immediately confines me to the temple. He requests that I don't go outside until my wound has fully healed. Although I don't understand why he's being excessively cautious, he stays in Romirro. It's a pleasant surprise. However, the wound on my back often makes me disoriented. Sometimes I can hear faint cackling sounds deep within my spine. It's as if there are fish nibbling on coral. Maybe a more apt description would be how it felt similar to seawater washing over new scales. At other times, I'm fully conscious, yet somehow unable to open my eyes. Like she's transforming. However, there is one thing I remember clearly. Whenever I curl up into a ball because of the searing pain, the sound of a flute drifts into my ears and numbs my suffering. Whenever I curl up into a ball because of the searing pain, the sound of a flute drifts into my ears and numbs my suffering. And soon after, I drift back into a soft, peaceful sleep. While we were away from Romirro, something rather significant happened. For those that don't remember, Romirro is the city where she's from, where MC is from in this myth. Håkon, the former Castellan, had escaped from the water prison. Oh, he wasn't dead? We didn't kill him? I thought we had killed him.
We've already dispatched a group to search the entire city. As soon as they find something, I'll make a report.
All right. Ouch. Thea, the lady in waiting, immediately falls silent outside the curtain. I hold back a gasp and turn to glance at Raphael. He's applying medicine to my body. That's so romantic. Since he heard about Håkon's escape, he has remained unfazed. There's not even a trace of anger or displeasure on his face. I'll deal with this myself. Call back the people you've sent out. There's no need to search anymore.
Yes, Your Highness.
When I wave my hand, Peya quickly retreats as if she's just been pardoned from execution. You let him escape.
Beasts of the deep only bare their real fangs when facing death. Humans are no exception. Making him believe he still has a glimmer of hope will force him to reveal his plans.
He's a twat, that's what he is. Aren't you afraid he might have a secret weapon?
You should be prioritizing your health.
Hot mermaid. He applies a slight pressure with his hand. I subconsciously try to pull away from the pain, but he grabs my shoulder and presses me onto the bed. Presses me back onto the bed?
This ointment is made from gold feather algae. It's the best medicine for wounds in Lemuria. Stay still if you want to be hale and hearty again.
Then be gentler.
I am being gentle. Are human bodies so fragile that they can't withstand a tiny amount of pressure?
Do you want to apply more pressure? Yet, he still lightens his touch as he applies the medicine, his cool fingers gliding down along my spine.
I could call for that lady in waiting and have her take care of you instead.
I also like the girly strums. No, you're doing well. I like it when you look after me. I'm sick. His face betrays nothing. However, in the dim lighting, I notice the tiny scales rising subtly on his neck. Nah, fuck him. I'll take care of you. Are you my lady in waiting? That's really hot. That's really sweet. That's really hot. Take care of me. I'll let you... No one ever takes care of me. That's a lie. My friends take care of me. But no one ever takes care of me these days. So lonely. I'll be waiting in a bedroom. Oh my god, say less. Yeah, say less. Say less. I see. He likes being praised. I quietly take note of this small discovery. Oh, wait, what? Did I skip something? His face betrays nothing. However, in the dim lighting, I notice the tiny scales rising subtly on his neck. Oh, like a cat! I see. He likes being praised. I quietly take note of this small... oh, he likes being praised, chat. Dante, what are you trying to come at? What's your point? What's your problem? That night, I develop a fever again. It often happens during these past few days. Raphael says this means my wound is healing, but feeling dizzy with a parched throat is still a miserable experience. How does that mean you're healing? On the contrary, you're actually getting an infection. No? Am I being silly Billy? Raphael, could you lend me your tail to cool down again?
No. We agreed that last night would be the last time.
Through the translucent curtains, I can see him lazily soaking in a pool, his tail creating ripples across the water's surface. It's not like he'll do anything. It's not like I'll do anything. I only want to lean against it for a bit.
Whose fever became so severe the last time that she thought she was eating fish.
I don't eat fish. I'm vegetarian. Guilty? I close my mouth. The heat inside my body is still making me miserable. Pretend to be weak or use the covenant. What the fuck is a covenant? Nah, she knows her shit. I'll use our bond if you don't obey me. Oh.
Go ahead.
I call upon the power of our covenant. Lend me your tail, Raphael. That's kinky. The sound of water lazily ripples as Raphael unhurriedly brushes aside his long hair. Do I need to recite an incantation? Raphael, Raphael, heed my words? I try every phrase I can think of. None of them work, and I'm left with an even drier mouth. My mouth is dry, to be honest. As I fret, he unceremoniously...
Lemuria's most sacred bond can't possibly work when you mock it.
They need to fix this. They really need to fix this.
Calm down. Focus on resting.
But in the end, he gives in. His tail is cool to the touch as I rest my head on it, and I meet his lowered gaze. How much longer do I have to wait for my wound to heal?
You'll make a full recovery soon.
Will you, though? The mirror beside me reflects a flash of red, and I see the floral pattern.
Whoop whoop is the sound of the fashion police. Officer, it's her. Fine her for being so hot and stealing my heart.
Kata, thank you for the prime! Hi, baby! The mirror beside me reflects a flash of red, and I see the floral pattern. It's slowly fading, but it has left behind jagged, frightening marks. The voices I heard have become different. At first, sounds I usually ignore suddenly become louder. Bubbles popping, fingers brushing against surfaces, heartbeats rising and falling. That just sounds like a porno. Sorry. Just what it is. Then the sound of churning seawater becomes increasingly clear in my ears. Even though the temple is far away from the beach, I can still hear the movements of the tide. Why are you so concerned about this injury?
It will make you more like a Lemurian. Your senses become heightened, so you'll be able to hear the call of the most distant oceans and see extraordinarily vibrant colors.
He absent-mindedly runs his fingers through my hair.
But you are a human. You'll become an outcast on land. Then you'll be unable to hear any sounds unless they're in the ocean. You won't see any colors unless they belong to the sea. Your legs will become too weak to walk on land, and you'll suffer. Seawater will flood your mouth and nose and rise in your throat.
Wait. Why are you so concerned about this injury? It will make you more like a Lemurian. Your senses become heightened, so you'll be able to hear the call of the most distant oceans and see extraordinary vibrant colors. But you are a human, you'll become an outcast on land. Then you'll be unable to hear any sounds unless they're in the ocean. You won't see any colors. And is this how he feels in a present? He's saying that because we're human and he's not human. He's a Lemurian.
In the end, you'll drown on dry land.
Oh, that's a can't we just have a moment of peace in this fucking game? Like, I just want to be happy. Is that so much to ask?
It doesn't look like you're afraid.
Because you'll keep me alive. Oh. Because you'll keep me alive. You will, yes? He laughs softly, feels my forehead, and then picks up a cup of water. He helps me drink it.
If you try to make excuses again tomorrow, there's no guarantee.
As I slowly recover, Romirro's short summer arrives. The scent of flowers, which had been absent, permeates the wind. At night, I climb to the roof of the temple and look at the port. The people are setting up tall platforms for bonfires. Perhaps they're preparing for the sea's gratis festival once again, centuries later, to express their reverence for the sea god. It was once Romirro's grandest festival. People would thank the sea god and pray for his blessings and protection. I already know that Raphael has no interest in a frivolous festival. Smash.
You're still injured.
No shit, Sherlock. I know, so I didn't leave the temple. I pat the spot beside me and invite him to sit down. Then I return my attention to the conch shell in my hand. Throws a flute in his hand and unceremoniously taps the top of my head with it.
That's not how you play it. If the conch shell could express emotion, it would have already died of embarrassment. Why?
Wow. It might be because whenever I hear you play it, all my pain disappears. Just as no one dares to approach the temple without a good reason. No one dares to go near the tower that once imprisoned me. I thought escaping from the tower would make me feel better, but I guess not.
Your cage isn't in that tower. You can't leave the temple or the tower. You're afraid of losing the freedom to go where you please. Once your wound heals, nothing will be able to restrain you.
The conch shell is taken from my hand as Raphael brings it to his lips. He's testing it out. Testing it.
Listen carefully if you want to learn.
English. Oh, 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 oh. So if you care to find me, look to the western sky. As someone told me late, I was singing it, and then he just stops. Offensive. The melodious tune rises and it mingles with the evening breeze and moonlight before floating away. Lock in, my guy. I lean against Raphael's shoulder and let the vibrations from his chest seep into my bones. I vibrated.
This island, this entire region, shouldn't be unconquerable obstacles in your search for freedom. No matter how many identities Romirro's people bestow upon you, you aren't obligated to fulfill them. You need to be willing to accept those roles.
One of those identities is the bride of the sea god. What if I don't want to be her?
Then don't be.
But I feel a bit reluctant to just let it go. Let it go! I let out a long sigh and gaze at the lights that extend from around the temple to distant places. I used to love Romirro. I wanted to protect it forever and save it from the prophecy.
Unfortunately, it abandoned you.
I'm just a tool to the citizens. They believe I will save their lives.
Do you want all these people to disappear?
If I said I wanted that, would you carry out my wish?
If it would make you fall in love with me.
Don't make me cry right now, please. I already
What
know how
would
this
make you happy
ends.
then?
I already know how this ends. Don't do this. When I don't respond, he hands me a long scroll.
Those ladies in waiting delivered it.
I look down and notice several ladies in waiting at the steps of the temple. They meet my gaze and bow nervously. I suppose they want me to preside over the rituals for the first day of the Sea's Gratis Festival.
I see. They're representing Romirro in an attempt to win your favor. When the time comes, you'll have to confront many of the people who abandoned you.
With apparent playfulness in his eyes, he brushes aside a strand of my hair that the wind had blown across my face.
How will you respond?
What would you do?
If it were me,
His fingertip moves down and rests over my trembling heart.
I'd ask this heart.
Touching me
what could
titties.
make it happy.
Why are you touching me titties? Why? No ask for consent, no titties. No. Okay, we saw back. With the toss of a torch... Can I have a moment of peace? Please. Please, phone. With the toss of a torch adorned with flowering vines and seashells into the bonfire, and the rise of dancing flames, the Sea's Gratis Festival officially begins. I descend from the elevated platform by the shore, give the Summoneo staff to Very for safekeeping. Who the fuck is that? And then remove the heavy crown from my head. I don't know these names. I can't retain names.
Thank you, Your
Oh, it's her.
Highness.
I remember now. No need. In the end, I agreed to preside over the ritual for the Sea's Gratis Festival. Oh, we're at the festival. The reason is simple, because the sea god was forgotten and hated for centuries. I'm the only one who still knows how to perform the ceremony. Of course, this ritual respected the sea god's opinion. So many of the complicated, extravagant elements were eliminated.
Why do
Why
you
is
think the
he-
sea god would enjoy a dance that looks like crabs are fighting?
That's just rude, Raphael.
It's better to save your energy and make more fried shrimp cakes instead.
He's
These are
eating his
actually
own.
delicious.
It's an ancient dance that was passed down for generations. It's supposed to display the sea god's majesty. Actually, you have a point. It does look like crabs fighting. As I walk into the resting area surrounded by curtains, Raphael examines the pile of crates filled with offerings. It's as if they've formed a small mountain. Because he said that fried shrimp cakes from the city's eastern district were delicious, people rush to replace their offerings with fried shrimp cakes. Why don't you make more special requests? You could ask for their assistance when you dive into the deep for pearls. That's the boy's character. The Deep. Love that show. I suspect the pearls at the tome of the sea god mentioned refer to something else, though.
Aren't fried shrimp cakes special? Food in the sea is too soft. Nothing has a unique texture such as this.
He breaks off a small piece and puts it in my mouth. Then he tosses upward a bubble filled with water to wash his hands.
As for the pearls, it can't be completed in a day or two. You also don't have to scour the entire sea for oysters. What you need to do now is...
His fingertip lifts my necklace. His eyes reveal what he's saying. Apply medicine. I loosen my collar and sit off to the side. When I think about how this wound is almost fully healed, I feel a tinge of sadness. During the ceremony, I realized for the first time that the sea wasn't completely... The sound of wave drifts in leisurely from beyond the curtains. It embraces my ears with a gentleness I never thought was possible. I also never imagined that fragments of rainbow-colored light shimmered beneath the dark-colored waves and among towering white crests. Oh, you guys can't hear anything. I don't know why. Hold up. Don't know why it's not. Trust that technology would fail me at this time. I think the raid was so hot that my phone and my computer couldn't keep up. All right, Raphael, you're getting better at taking care of people. You don't hurt me anymore.
Simple task well at this point. Wouldn't the sea god's divinity be tarnished?
Chill out! That's allowed. What did the granny at the bottom write? Oh, let me tell you right now. I'm gonna tell you. Her name's Josephine. We don't vibe with Josephine. Why is she covered in tomatoes? Josephine is what we call a scunt. And what does a scunt mean? A cunt and a scum. She's a scunt. No, that won't be necessary. Stop.
Your Highness, someone has brought a prayer flower basket.
That's sweet. Fairy, who just lifted the curtain to enter, pauses. Her gaze shifts from Raphael's hand to my shoulder, and then she speaks as if she didn't see anything.
It's for you and the sea god.
Of course. You can leave it here.
Yes, Your Highness.
After Viri leaves, I pull my clothes back up and silently glare at Raphael. I bet new rumors about us will be circulating around the city tomorrow.
Such as?
It's hard to say. Perhaps they'll mention the sea god's bride in broad daylight doing... Oh, wait. That's not right. The people shall speak of her doing this and that with the sea god in the dark hours of the night. Oh, kinky.
What exactly
Why are
is this and
this
that?
and that? That's
I don't
insane.
understand.
That why what? The prayer flower basket floats into Raphael's hands. He lifts the red, blue, and silver ribbon, and then he fiddles with the seashells inside the
What
basket.
does this basket of seashells represent?
It's one of the traditions of the Sea Gods Festival. The Gratis Festival. Every household prepares flower baskets filled with seashells to exchange with others. The more beautiful the seashells, the more beautiful the blessings they represent. It's how one can convey well wishes to people. I tuck that thought away and pretend to be interested as I take the flower basket. Where are we going? Having changed into lighter clothes, Raphael and I walk along the central streets of the city toward the temple. The moonlight and stars cast a blue glow across the night sky. They're like seawater flowing along the horizon as they rise and fall with the clouds and mist. Try these crispy fish. They're delicious too, and crunchy.
They're slightly bland.
Wow. Is that so? Maybe the salty seawater has numbed your...
I told you multiple times already. I'm not always drinking seawater because I'm in the ocean.
Could have taken me for a fool. I drop a few coins, and I ignore the stall owner's somewhat bewildered gaze, and shove a bag of crispy fish into Raphael's hands. A decent number of people recognize us, but we tacitly ignore their gawking. When did they put up that statue over there?
Weighed it not too long ago.
At the end of the path stands an I swear I can read. At the end of the path stands an exquisitely detailed, majestic statue of the sea god. He wields a trident as he stands above the whitecaps. 1, 2, 3, 4. Your abdomen is well defined. They're putting a lot of effort into flattering you. Perchance a little too much. That's insane.
What do you mean?
That's
faithful
insane. It's far more accurate compared to the previous sea god statues. The older ones were extremely imposing and masculine. Their beards were longer than their hair. When I heard your voice for the first time, I couldn't believe you were the sea god. You sounded too young.
You're not wrong. You saw it yourself in the sea god's tomb. Those sea gods had flowing beards longer than their hair.
I should have read the previous card, and I didn't pull for the companion myth. I take a moment to recall the statues I saw there. You're still the most handsome one. At least she's direct. I'll give her that.
You have my thanks.
He raises his hand slightly, and the seashells placed near the base of the statue shimmer with a crystalline light. It's akin to a silent response from a god. Seeing my questioning look, he smiles.
I still believe humanity's faith is fragile. The slightest touch can shatter it. However, the meaning of festivals is equally important, whether they are here or where Whalefall City used to stand. Just for today, I can let them be happy for a bit. It's not difficult.
Well, thanks for your charity work, Raphael. All right, we're touching hand. I hold his fingertips. Raphael, before you fall asleep, you must have been a likable sea god. Even though you've lost your memories, you still long for Whalefall City. You want to awaken all the Lemurians and bring them back to their homeland.
Making unfounded judgments like this is usually a dangerous sign.
Who says it's unfounded? On a small scale, you dislike human worship, yet you still respond to their wishes. On a larger scale, you saved everyone during the lunar eclipse, despite the fact they hated and insulted you. And most importantly, I loved you once. It was enough to forge a covenant with you. They're just two little witches. Girly, gender neutral. Girly. At least that proves you're worthy of affection. You're worthy of being loved. I need someone telling me this. Please. I need someone telling me this. Now it's your turn.
What?
I gave you plenty of compliments. Isn't it your turn to compliment me? That's what I'm saying.
Your eyes are bright. Your hair is soft. And you remind me of a proud little crab when you smile. When you're angry, you're like a prickly sea urchin.
Well, that's just rude. Does the last part count as a compliment?
Of course. If you lived at the bottom of the sea for thousands or tens of thousands of years, you would know.
Why is he throwing his trauma, like, at me? How is that my fault?
How precious it is to see even a sliver of vibrant color.
Oh, okay, never mind. He's forgiven. He's forgiven. I'm gonna cry. I open my mouth, but I'm unable to find the right words. The basket in my hand sways slightly. I lower my head and see a little girl slipping a pink seashell into my basket while taking another one. After we make eye contact, she immediately scurries back to her mother, who's a stall owner selling crispy fish. Crispy fish? Crispy fish? The stall owner struggles with how she should respond. Then she gives me a forced smile.
See? The people here like you too.
That's not it. It's... whether it's belated guilt, cautious appeasement, or even more complex emotions that are impossible to articulate, I can't say. I haven't done anything to deserve their affection. Girl, you were groomed and abused. You deserve everything that the world has to give you, darling. Like, you deserve compensation. His hand covers mine, and he moves past the thread collar ribbon on the basket so his fingers can intertwine with mine.
All endearing words suit you perfectly.
By the time we return to the temple, there are a few more colorful seashells in my basket. It's not a lot, however. I hang it by the windowsill, and I see Raphael is about to approach the pool. I quickly run over to stop him. Wait, there's still something we need to do. I take out the floral liquor? I had very prepared and pour into a silver chalice. Is she going to, like, give him a potion of love? We celebrated with everyone else. Now it's time for our private celebration. The Sea's Gratis Festival is also for lovers. People collect elderflowers during the spring and use them to brew a liquor. Liquor? You're supposed to give it to your beloved on this day.
Does this contain your entire spring's collection?
Why are you calling me out for that?
It's all right. I don't mind.
Raphael picks up his glass and gently clinks it with mine. The floral liquor is sweet and pure. After drinking it in one go, I refill both glasses.
Now that it's just the two of us, is there anything you want to say to the sea god? To me?
Just the two of us.
During the ceremony, your chants were filled with other people's words to the sea god. They were not your own. Don't you want to tell me something? Maybe I can make a wish come true.
I wish you could fall in love with me soon. I hope you'll succeed in your revenge. Don't become the sea god. Well, that's a little bit obvious. Then I wish you could fall in love with me soon.
That doesn't count.
Oh. Why? Is it very difficult for you?
It's too easy.
Romance is not dead, fellas. Romance is not dead.
Ambitious wish.
As our glasses clink and the floor liquor slowly disappears, Raphael suddenly holds out his hand to me.
You told me that during the Seas Gratis Festival, humans exchange seashells to give blessings to each other. I've already given you a seashell. Shouldn't you give me something in return?
I touch the seashell necklace around my neck. I rack my brain for what feels like ages, and yet I can't think of anything that would be of equal value. I slip a pearl ring off my finger. I've worn this since I was a child. It's not the pearl that the Tome of the Sea God told you to find, but I'll give you a blessing that only belongs to this ring. May all your wishes come true. And when that time comes, remember to take me to Whalefall City. Why is he whispering in my ear?
I heard that rings are often gifts that symbolize romantic devotion in the world of humans. Does this mean you've fallen in love with me?
I contemplate his words for a moment before I lean forward and kiss the corner of his lips. Oh my god! What do you think?
I think I need some more convincing proof.
Don't look at me right now. Don't look at me right now. That night, the sound of waves draws closer. Gentle, melodious music mixes with the laughter. As fantasia sharks swim overhead, vibrant colors burst before my eyes. Someone reaches out to hold my hand. My veil is lifted and I'm led toward the light. And then the music and laughter transform into weeping and screams. All colors fade into a dull gray, and the hand that's tightly holding my— what the fuck? The hand that's holding mine gradually turns cold. Seawater engulfs everything. The cold overwhelms the world, and even the last melody played on a flute sinks into a deathly silence. But the hand still doesn't let go of me. When the sun rises, come to the beach. I'll take you somewhere special. On the last day of the Seas Gratis Festival, I wake up and find a note Raphael left beside my pillow. Is he ghosting us? Rosy daylight spreads across the horizon and paints the sky in distinctly warm colors, and yet the wind carries an unusual chill. Not the mermaid hydrating me. There's a smell. It's a repulsive, fishy stench. Ew! I swiftly draw my silver sword and block an attack that was aimed at my heart. Yet something akin to sharp claws pierces my shoulder. It's like a coiled tentacle that's covered in thistle-like barbs. They dig deeper into my skin while I struggle.
It's been a long time, bride of the sea god.
Fuck you! So that's where you went, Hawkern. Still maintaining his sanctimonious facade, he emerges from the darkness, and behind him, several grotesque, elongated shadows extend outward.
You were waiting for me.
Nah, bitch. Your trap is too obvious. The toxin from the barb seeps into my blood. My body becomes numb, but I doubt I'll die from it.
Too bad. The sea god deceived you with a few empty words. You're still under his spell.
He would never do that to me.
You actually
He's different.
believe he'll save you?
He's different.
He'll only lead you to your death for his own selfish desires.
His eyes gleam with malicious intent, and as my consciousness begins to fade, traces of light are gradually devoured by darkness.
Don't resist. Now then, follow me. Everything I've done is for Romirro. I want to prevent it from following the same doomed path as the Muria.
We're nearing the end though. I will in total have 4 hours of footage to review because I am posting this card on YouTube hopefully by next week. Hopefully before the end of the card, because I'm so slow at editing, and obviously I don't have an editor. I'm so slow at editing, and I'll have 2 different streams to edit. Which is okay, I love editing, but it's just a lot when you work. And then obviously I can't get stuff out as quickly as full-time content creators and streamers. It's just me and my high expectations. The pain in my shoulder wakes me. As I open my eyes, I find myself in a cage I know all too well. She's back in it. My hands and feet have been shackled. Sensing a putrid, fishy smell, I see a massive, grotesque shadow on the wall. It's accompanied by the sounds of something viscous being torn and peeled apart. I suddenly recall the spell he cast on me, the one he used to control me.
Indeed, it's an ancient curse, but it's far too weak to control my bride. These magics can't be wielded by humans. Tell me where you found it.
You are no longer human.
So what? To save Lemuria, this pain is nothing.
The shadow on the wall suddenly contracts. A moment passes and it slowly returns to a humanoid form. In which so many sea monsters parasitizing your body, aren't you afraid they'll eventually devour you? You will be turned into a real monster.
The human body is too fragile. It's incapable of helping me in my quest to revive Lemuria.
You know, I like monster romance, but I don't like specifically this monster. Like, fuck him.
I need a body powerful enough to let me live for thousands of years. But that sea god, he destroyed the body I had painstakingly crafted when he put me in that water prison. He forced me to devour more, and I turn into what you see now.
Noticing the countless festering cracks and deformed joints on his hands, I feel nothing but shock and pity. Recalling his talk of Lemuria and the implications of his recent words, a theory forms in my mind. Are you a Lemurian? But you were born and raised in Romirro. Lemuria was destroyed tens of thousands of years.
Lemuria was never destroyed.
He yanks the chains and I'm forced to look into his eyes that are filled with ominous darkness.
It's sleeping. It's waiting for me. Once I kill that foolish, selfish sea god, I will become Lemuria's new sovereign.
Fuck him, but don't fuck him. Honestly, like, fuck him, but, like, not fuck him, you know?
I shall resurrect Lemuria, the
Fuck
only
him.
civilization that's glorious enough to rule this world.
You're a weirdo, that's what you are. He seems to have lost his mind with his obsessive delusions and hatred for Raphael. However, his words aren't complete nonsense. I swear, like, so this man is just, what's the word? He is a dictator. He is a fascist. That's the truth. He's a mermaid fascist. Like, just be a good person. It's not that hard, darling. It's just not that hard. And then we fight. We fight. Provoke him or test him. I'm scared. Let me test him. Do you want to return to Lemuria?
It's the most beautiful place in the world, and the homeland of all Lemurians. Don't you love your homeland? Wouldn't you want to save it?
I'm not passionately enamored by Romirro. Test him to prolong his transformation, I guess. We're in the same wavelengths. Despite my feelings, I pretend to nod and agree with him. I understand, but this doesn't have anything to do with me. Why would you kidnap me to save Lemuria?
Don't you remember?
That's an Adele song. Don't you remember? Oh my god, not a tentacle. A tentacle tosses something at my feet. Ew! It's a small, fractured stone tablet. However, I recognize it instantly. The Tome of the Sea God? It's back! We read the Tome of Sea God in the Abyssal card. It's very similar to the one in the temple. The patterns and text are almost identical. It's as if it was broken off from that larger stone tablet.
You are the only human who can communicate with the Tome of the Sea God. Go on. Read.
The blood from my shoulder drips onto the stone tablet and a blurred text emits a faint golden glow. Find a true love. When blessed with a true love's kiss, claim her heart by your own hand. A heart pure, flawless, and filled with love. Best offering can give to Lemurians. Well, so that's a sentence and a half. The prophecy from the Tome of the Sea God then that I read, it was incomplete.
Do you understand now? If the Sea God wants to reclaim his power, he needs more than true love. True love is just a stepping stone to him.
Hawkern gives me a mocking gaze that's filled to the brim with contempt.
Akin to how a starving person seeks food, ripping out your heart is the sea god's natural instinct.
Why are you telling me this?
I'm trying to save your life out of the kindness of my heart.
All right, Alexander Hamilton, shut up. Hawkern, I've known you for at least a few hundred years. You can't lie to me. Or do you honestly think I would harm Raphael if I knew he was going to kill me?
You wouldn't? You believe that pitiful illusion you call love is enough to make the sea god give up on your heart?
Well, he was in my bed, he weren't, so how's that gonna go?
Should he recall what happened millions of years ago? Do you think he would still show you mercy?
Is he referring to what happened before Raphael fell asleep? Hawkern pulls out a bottle covered in verdigris and unscrews the stopper. An eerie vapor drifts out.
Come, witness the events from the annals of Lemurian history.
I don't
See
want to.
how you and that sea god destroyed the Muria.
Boring. So what if we did a couple of like bad stuff in the past? What's that to do with you? I hold my breath, but the eerie vapor seeps into my skin in an instant, evading every fiber of my being. Within moments, dormant memories awaken like magma breaking through frozen earth. It burns every blood vessel and nerve in me. It hurts. Searing pain tears through my body. My mind is plunged into chaos, and yet something gradually comes into focus.
Are you willing to be my follower?
Raphael. 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 The massive circular chamber is as dim as twilight. The ground trembles as fractured stones cascade down from the doomed ceiling. This is... My body is suddenly pinned down. A sharp dagger is pressed against my chest, its tip drawing drops of blood. Raphael? No, that's not right. The Raphael before me is a brighter, more radiant young man, yet the dark blue flames that burn in his eyes and his expression are unnaturally detached. In his hand, he tidily grips a sharp dagger. It's poised, ready to pierce my heart. Spoilers from the other card, chat! Spoilers from the other mythic card! Cover your ears and your eyes! I can't make a sound. I grab the handle of the dagger and use all of my strength to fight against death itself. Trembling tip of the dagger freezes.
Run.
But the detached hostility returns to his eyes as blue and golden light radiates from his body.
As my follower, you must offer your heart to me.
I don't want to cry.
The Lemurian bond holds great power, but it's also a chain.
I don't want to cry. There is some linear storytelling going. There is, darling. There is. This is why this game is so good.
Constraints.
You can be vulnerable. That's okay. We can unpack all of that in therapy, darling. Even gods need therapy. Have we learned nothing from the Song of Achilles? Jesus. My struggle is futile. The blade sinks deeper into my chest. Blood falls as the pain spreads. There's a loud crash and the restraint on my body loosens. Raphael leans against a wall that's far away from me. Pain has contorted his face. Inside the stone niche burns a gentle yet feeble flame. It's so weak that a breeze could extinguish it.
Stay away from me.
His voice actor needs a raise, my god. Those dark blue and golden lights still surround him. However, the blue flames in his eyes have been extinguished, or rather suppressed.
You cannot stay here. Lemuria's flame requires the hearts of our followers to sustain it. This is wrong. Should it continue, 'tis only a matter of time before I lose control and hurt you again. You must find a method that will allow it to burn forever. That shall be Lemuria's true path.
The flame from the niche gently floats to Raphael's fingertips. Then it transforms into countless delicate threads of light that flow toward my chest. Shocked, I try to break free. Yet I find myself bound by these threads. A strange, warm power flows into my heart.
There is a legend. It says the wick of a flame exists in the place where all oceans converge. Find it, and Lemuria will be enveloped in light and endure forevermore.
That totally didn't break the moment. Water currents embrace me and carry me out of the temple. From a distance, Raphael gives me a gentle smile.
I shall ensure Whalefall City remains exactly as you remember it, until the day you return with the wick. This is my promise to you, for 'tis Lemuria's vow, a bond everlasting.
Despairing blood pervade the seawater as thunderous ruination buries all cries and screams. I desperately try to push away the darkness before my eyes, but it feels like my body is trapped in quicksand. The more I struggle, the more I suffocate.
That human deceived you. She deceived all of Lemuria.
A human stole our flame. Lemuria will perish.
Why did the sea god deceive us? Why didn't he protect Lemuria?
He hates you, mate.
The sea god has changed before we even realized it.
The seawater drowns their despair, and yet I can't defend Raphael. It isn't Raphael's fault. It's because I didn't fulfill my promise to Raphael. There was no wick that existed in a place where all oceans converge, or at the end of the sea. Lemuria could never exist forever. Lemuria was a civilization that should have never existed. Destruction was its predetermined fate. The last god of the sea perishes. Along with Lemuria, they dissolve into the ocean. It's not a slumber, it's oblivion. He will disappear from this world. I will never be able to find him, see him, hear the songs he plays for me on the flute, or see his smile. My heart silently cries out, and it awakens the unwavering determination of my former self. I won't let Raphael die. I will save him. And the price that must be paid, it does not matter. Jesus! In the violently trembling deep sea, the Summoneo's staff I wield ignites. The cold flames illuminate the gaze that's a breath away from mine. Shock, sorrow, and anger. I can't exactly make out the emotions in his eyes. I only see the mark of our bond in on his collarbone. It's like a stream of blindingly bright, burning blood. Countless threads of light transform into runes. I raise the staff and let a phantom pierce his body. I hear my own heart as I speak. Every single word is a part of a merciless command. With the power of Lemuria's vow, Raphael, you shall be forever imprisoned here until Lemuria welcomes the opportunity for rebirth, until the world reaches that moment when you can be awakened. If Gunnar game why I cry. His divine gaze, once clearer than seawater, transforms into a black tide. It freezes when he looks at me.
You betrayed me.
So I'll release an apology video on YouTube later for you, Raphael. Once the seal is complete, he's plunged into the depths of those abyssal waters. I hear a deafening sound as if the entire ocean is being split apart. Boundless black waves surge in from all directions. His dissipating figure becomes rain that falls upward. I will cut out your heart with a dagger, Hone, my darling, and in love's name your heart will become my faith. Your body will be washed clean, shine like a pearl. I will care for your heart. If Gunnar came, why I cry. Oh my god. Till we meet again, and you reclaim it for yourself. If Gunnar came, why I cry. Oh my god. The last wisp of smoke dissipates, and the bottle clatters to the ground. The tide of memories recedes as my consciousness returns to the cold, gloomy tower.
Do you remember now? You stole the flame and sealed away the sea god. and he trusted you so easily. You are the ones responsible for Lemuria's destruction.
Oopsie! My mind is still reeling from the impact of those memories as I lift my head. My gaze focuses on the former Castellan. Then it shifts to the silent figure standing in the shadows behind him. I don't know when he arrived. However, his cold gaze has told me everything. He saw my memories as well. Hakan continues his endless monologue, but I can only hear chaotic... I know where this is going. Please don't do this. I stare blankly at the figure before me. I'm just having flashbacks to the trailer and what we just watched, and I don't wanna do this. Our gazes lock and we freeze under the moonlight. My thoughts also seem to be frozen in place.
We'll deal with him first.
A faint whisper that only I can hear reaches my ears. I give a slight nod in response.
He will kill you, cut out your heart, and leave your body out to rot. You will not receive a proper burial. If you want to live, your only option is to kill him before.
Why can't they just be happy, mate?
Your bond with him is your sharpest blade. You can order him to take his own life. As you can see,
Not gonna do that, is she?
anything is possible.
Yes, I remember. I was the one who sealed Raphael. I tried to speak as calmly as possible. But I am also responsible for Lemuria's downfall. Why is Raphael your only target for revenge? Don't you hate me too?
Of course I do. However, I'm willing to let bygones be bygones if you kill the sea god.
Sorry about the music just playing. Remove my shackles then. Can I do anything if I'm like this? I lift my chin slightly. You better hurry. He is already here. Huh? A tall, slender figure appears under the moonlight. Raphael raises his hand and summons the Tidebreaker Trident.
How convenient.
So, you like when I look at you this way?
What a man. What a man. Can I just say, Psy1 UVS is my favorite TikTok Love and Deepspace editor. Honestly, their edits are fucking insane. Magnificent, like... The chains that bind me snap. I rub my sore wrist before materializing a silver sword. I take 2 steps forward. In the suffocating silence, Raphael is the first to speak.
It was you.
Lovely. It's a lovely day outside. Lovely outside. And you let Hawkern escape on purpose. He was used as bait so you can find out who sealed you away. That person is me.
Correct. The greatest weakness of Lemurians is that bond. And a sea god cannot have weaknesses. He must kill the person who forged the covenant with him. That way, there will be no one left in the world who could restrain or threaten him. And only then shall he become an invincible god. Regardless of whether it's for Lemuria or for myself, I must kill you.
He speaks these cold words. Although I know it's just an act, I can't help but think. Perhaps these words also contain his true feelings. We don't need to say anything else to each other. I raise my silver sword as lightning flashes at the tip of the Tidebreaker Trident. Blue fury power surges around Raphael's body.
Farewell, bride of the sea god.
Is this just an act? Please tell me this is an act. When the tip of my sword clashes with the Tidebreaker Trident, all weapons are diverted to the side. As the light fades, Hawkins' eyes are filled with terror, and yet he cannot move. His body shatters amidst flying sparks. A putrid stench fills the air as viscous fluid seeps between the bricks and spreads across the floor.
Don't taint Lemuria's glory with your disgusting ambitions.
Sorry, that's loud. That's really loud.
A man who lost himself to madness has no right to save Whalefall City.
Hawkern's eyes bulge with fury as guttural sounds escape his throat. Then he crumbles and turns to ash. Raphael withdraws his trident and brushes away the dark embers from his body.
Your hand.
A small flame dances from his fingertips and travels up my forearm. The fluid and bloody marks left by the shackles disappear. God.
You are afraid of me. What's wrong? Did you think I would actually kill you?
I'm not afraid of you. I'm the one who sealed you away, and I'm also the key that will allow you to reclaim your power. You have every reason to kill me.
If I asked you to, would you willingly offer me your heart? I want you to answer honestly.
Yes. Heart has always belonged to you, and I promised it to you before. But yes, I'm willing to return it to you.
Then why are you crying?
It's just I'm so emotional right now. Oh my god. I blink and realize tears are threatening to fall from my eyes. Being willing doesn't mean I'm not afraid of death, and I owe you an apology. I understand it can't erase a fraction of your suffering. His fingertip is cold as he presses it against the spot where my beating heart is. Our noses almost touch. We're so close that one breath would close the distance between our lips.
What I want is a heart with pure and utter devotion. Its love for me should come from the very depths of one's soul. Do you think it is that?
I don't have an answer for you. Even if it was, this heart now bears an invisible fissure that can never be fully mended.
The answer is clear. Your heart is of no use to me. For now, at least. Go back. Your injuries haven't fully healed yet. You should get some rest.
All right. I murmur in agreement, and yet neither of us makes a move to leave. The moonlight casts shadows on the window bars. It resembles a war of thorns that gradually spreads between us. Oh, chat. Still 2 chapters to go. These are long these days, my lord. The path from the tower to the temple isn't long. However, it feels as if we've been walking for an eternity. After that day, we continue as if nothing had changed. Yet everything is different. We no longer watch the faint light on the horizon in the morning, nor do we light all the candles in the temple on cold nights. Oh, the images from that vision are like an inescapable thorn. It has pierced me and Raphael. Dusk falls when Raphael tells me he will temporarily leave Romirro to search for the pearl in the deep. Oh, there's a typo. It's mentioned in the Tome of the Sea God. We part ways on the beach. He dives into the sea. He's still catching the sunset slide in all of its beautiful iridescence. The waves and ripples will never settle. Likewise, I will never see him again. On the last night of summer, an unprecedented storm falls upon Romirro without any warning. Wait, isn't it Romirro? I'm confused now. Not Remiro, it's Romirro, right? The water has risen past an average person's waist. With the rain, they rapidly engulf every building, shop, and slope. I watch from the top of the temple. Beyond the rain lies a hazy black ring surrounding everything. The seawater surges and churns. I only gave out the order to reinforce the embankments and clear the waterways. Unfortunately, when faced with this kind of storm, it's futile. Another building collapses. The rising waters carry the rubble and people's screams in all directions. Someone bops up and down in the current. The black water carries them toward me.
Help me! Someone!
I recognize her. She's one of the ladies in waiting who served me in the temple.
Help!
Countless images flash through my mind. They overlap and intertwine. The faces of people below the tower, those looks of disgust or apathy when I was forced to perform the waiver ritual. The smiles of people who send me invitations and exchange seashells with me during the Sea's Gratis Festival. don't want to save her.
Your Highness. Your Highness, thank...
The nearest shelter is to the north. Go. Before she thanks me, I harshly interrupt her. The lady in waiting steadies her weakened body. Her eyes, once soaked in despair, flickers briefly with hope before it dims.
The flood has washed away all the city's shelters. Aside from me, there are others who have nowhere to go.
Carrying debris, the roaring flood crashes against the temple. The building trembles, and yet it still remains steadfast. When I was 15, I oversaw its renovation with the intention of making this symbol of fate as solid as the heavens. It was designed to stand tall for centuries. Tell everyone to take shelter in the sea god's temple.
Your Highness, we did a search and brought the people we found to the temple.
Are we still on the fuck grandma part of the story, or did I miss stuff? Not yet! She's dead! People who escaped the storm are put into small groups in the main hall. They anxiously watch as I stand next to the statue of the sea god. I look outside. The rainfall wraps around Romirro like a sheet of rough gauze. It covers everything in a deathly white as far as I can see. Turning back, I instruct Very to distribute all the food supplies in the temple. When the storm eases, lead them to Mount Onuyuna. It's tall enough. The water will not reach you there. After I give all my simple orders, I ignore the anxious gazes and the hushed discussions around me as I turn to leave.
Your Highness?
Yes?
What if the rain never stops and the flood reaches Mount Onuyuna? What then? What if the third night comes?
All sounds seemingly vanish. Only rainfall remains. Gazes pour in from all directions like water. Everyone stares at me as they wait for an answer before their future. That day will never come. The third night hasn't arrived yet, and the rain will stop. Many people turn their heads to look outside. They're searching for the bright moon that hangs in the sky. The tense uneasiness in the temple has disappeared to some extent. As for how long this rain will last, that remains to be seen. Perhaps what they need isn't a direct answer, but words that can serve as a pillar of support. Suppressing the many uncertainties in my heart, I look at the misty blackness beyond the rain. My promise with Raphael isn't valid anymore, huh? If only this heart truly fell in love with him, then he'd prevent the sea from swallowing Romirro and allow me to live. Back when we decided to fall in love, neither of us anticipated what today would bring. I hope the sea he's in has pleasant skies. My heart aches again as I grasp the necklace he gave me, but...
What I want is a heart with pure and utter devotion. Its love for me should come from the very depths of one's soul. Do you think it is that?
I still can't give a definite answer to the questions Raphael asked me that night. However, no matter what happens, I can't let Romirro sink. I must survive until the day I see Raphael again. Several days later, the torrential rain finally stops while everyone sleeps. The howling winds subside to some extent. Wading through the accumulated muddy water, the ladies in waiting carry out my orders. They evacuate everyone from the city. I press my faintly aching temples. I'm unable to dismiss the ominous premonition lingering in my heart for some reason. I look up. The moon has vanished without a trace. Moonlight drowns in murky gloom. Within the blink of an eye, black clouds swallow the last trace of light from heaven and earth.
The eclipse! The eclipse is here!
The eclipse!
No!
It's happening!
Prophecy from the top of the sea god! Romirro is about to be submerged!
After being momentarily stunned, I finally realize that there are no black clouds in the sky. A massive wave is rising from the sea. Very, take everyone back to the temple. But these feeble struggles are no match for the approaching catastrophe. The wave swiftly unfurls its deathly embrace over Romirro. A loud sound explodes across the sky, and for a moment everything is as bright as the day. Golden lightning cleaves through the massive wave. The waters flow back and reveal a familiar silhouette. The seashell necklace around my neck begins to shake violently. Raphael? The massive wave collapses, and large water splashes touch the land. Raphael raises his trident breaker trident. Oh my god, I can't read. Raphael raises his tidebreaker trident, and the scales on his tail reflect a piercing cold light. The trident is swung down with great force. Heavy storms clouds are transformed into scorching, powerful winds that sweep across all of Romirro. Wherever the trident points, flames more brilliant than the blazing sun ignite across the water's surface.
The sea god? Is that the sea god?
To control the currents and the tides, without a doubt, this is Raphael's power. Find him! Mountains, the towering waves are stacked on top of one another. They spiral upward under the force of wind and fire to form columns of water that pierce the sea like spears. The violent ocean is suppressed by the sea god's ferocious power. Fire clashes against the seawater that had rushed into Romirro, and the sea is forced to retreat. I run toward Raphael by stepping on the scattered, floating debris that once made up a seawall. Only one thought races in my mind. Faster. I need to go faster. Ahead of me, Raphael sends amidst the unquenchable flames. His long hair is disheveled by the wind. Raphael! Water and fire illuminate Raphael's eyes as he looks at me. A divine power surges in his gaze, and it's as fierce as the turbulent currents surrounding him. Not even a trace of image is reflected in his eyes.
You shouldn't have come here. Return to the shore if you don't want to be reduced to cinders.
I swing my sword to create a gust. It cleaves the flames and I leap through the opening to reach Raphael. Ignoring his trident that's positioned as a barrier before me, I grab his rigid arm and forcefully intertwine our fingers. This is exactly where I should be.
Death will greet those who attempt to wield a sea god's power with a human body.
Don't tempt me with a good time. But I'm the one who has a bond with the sea god. Resonate? I won't die that easily. I always wonder, is he technically a sea god in the present? Or is he just a Lemurian? Because he was groomed into being his... Oh, spoilers. Sorry about that, but he was groomed. Sorry, chat. As soon as we resonate, a scorching heat that feels like it could burn everything spreads from Raphael's palm to my body. Divine power surges, and at the same time, something else flows into my heart. In my daze, I realize it's everything Raphael has never put into words. In the dark depths of the ocean, the sea's ritualis hymn drifts down ethereally from the surface. It awakens his anticipation that has been suppressed for eons. During one of Romirro's short summers, the indifferent sea god's heart experienced pure contentment and joy for the first time. After he left the temple with the excuse of searching for pearls, the waves undulated like his fluctuating thoughts. All that time we spent together, my feelings for him were never unrequited. Raphael supports my waist as he hugs me from behind. His embrace is scorching hot.
Feel it. Now wield it as if it were...
I am so sorry, Chad.
Feel it. Now wield it as if it were your own.
Divine power collides with my nerves. My blood boils as my eyes become the same color as Raphael's. Power representing heaven and earth advances from between our fingers. The last wave that threatens Romirro is intercepted by fierce flames. Suddenly what? Oh my god. Suddenly, the waves freeze just as they're about to surge forward with a howl. A beam of sunlight breaks through the thick clouds and shines upon me and Raphael. Immediately, the waves fall as if weightless. They shed their ferocity and gently push toward the shore. My heart beats like a drum, beats quickly drowned out by the jubilant distant cheers of relief from those who narrowly escaped disaster.
The tide has receded. Aren't you going to let go of my hand?
No, I need you to stay, my guy. I missed you. I turn my head. The burning divine power in Raphael's eyes slowly fades, and they return to what I'm familiar with. June. No. I tighten my grip on his hand. What will you do if I don't let go? A long time passes. Then he smiles faintly.
Keep holding it. Neither of us will let go first.
Don't do this, Greenwich. Okay, I need to take a moment for the last one. I need to take a deep moment for this last one. Garbage chat. It's just... Okay, let me take a... I'm so out of breath. Right, I'm not ready for this one, but okay. Houses that were once submerged reappear. The ships, once swept away, are pushed back to the shore by the waves. People emerge from the temple where they sought refuge. People emerge from the temple where they sought refuge. They slowly begin to rebuild their home. After finding some medicine in the temple, I return to the shore by the port. Raphael is leaning against the rocks. His eyes are closed, and the dim daylight covers his body. His complexion looks paler than it actually is. I dip my finger into the ointment made from gold feather algae. Algae? Then I gently apply it to the wounds on his arm. Although he appears all right at first glance, I soon notice several barely perceptible wounds on his body.
Be gentle. It hurts.
You call me fragile, but a sea god's body isn't that sturdy. Despite saying those words, my movements become slower. I treat his wounds with the utmost care. Weren't you searching for pearls in the deep? Why did you return?
You thought I wouldn't?
I thought you'd be upset for a longer period of time.
I'm not upset. However, that doesn't mean I didn't care.
His fingertip touches my palm and gently traces one of its lines.
A Lemurian bond grows stronger with love. The deeper the connection is between the two parties, the more powerful it becomes. Back then,
his makeup here is so
our
beautiful.
bond was so powerful that you were able to seal me away for thousands, no, tens of thousands of years. Only a love with such pure and utter devotion is capable of doing that.
Sounds like you haven't made peace with it.
Of course not.
Suddenly lowers his head and bites my nose. However, I don't dare to pull my hand away.
It wasn't a day, a month, or a year. What I endured is longer than what a human can possibly comprehend. Millions upon millions of years. How could I possibly let you off so easily?
Of course. So you need to avenge yourself by never leaving me again. After I finish applying the medicine, he stretches his body and brushes away.
I heard you.
After I finish applying the medicine, he stretches his body and brushes away the sun clinging to his skin.
Protected many humans.
Yes, at the end of the day, I can't bear to see so many pointless deaths. I still don't like Romirro, but I can't bring myself to watch it perish.
You didn't do anything wrong. Watching your kin march toward their demise is a pain more excruciating than dying. You didn't force yourself to endure that suffering. Well done.
Immediately, his tone shifts as he puts on a fierce expression.
However, I do have objections in regards to letting those humans turn my bedchamber into a filthy mess.
It's not that bad. At least your pool was cleaned. I already ordered a few people to clean it. I promise your bedchamber will be spotless.
Good.
Pushes himself up, but he pauses as he's about to stand. Surging waves wash over the reef. As the water recedes, his tail transforms into a pair of legs.
Let's return to the temple.
Now he has legs!
I need to see its condition to feel at ease.
I nod a second later, and then I notice a small crack in the necklace's seashell. After that day, Romirro gradually returns to its former state. There are no more sudden high tides and no more unexpected storms. The text and the tone of the sea god remains the same. The nightmare of Romirro being submerged seems to vanish into thin air along with the overcast sky. The prophecy didn't come to fruition. Romirro won't sink. The sea god and his bride protected us. We must express our gratitude and worship them forever. The people are immersed in the joy of surviving a catastrophe. They renovate the temple so that it's more magnificent and elaborate. Erect taller statues and supply Raphael and me an endless stream of gifts. But has the dust truly settled?
Your Highness.
Erect. Yeah, I'm sure they thought of that when they erected his statue. The fanfics do be going crazy. I am still waiting for like a crazy fanfic of this card. The Raphael girlies don't pop off a lot on AO3, I've noticed. Caleb girlies, they pop off. And Zane girlies. But I don't know. With Raphael, it just doesn't feel the same. You want to tab monster? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. You've read my mind. Passing through the crowd of onlookers, very hurriedly approaches. She bows before me. On the shore lies a dead, enormous silver fish. It's almost as long as several adult men, if they were lying down and lined up in a row.
It was discovered by the fishermen who were preparing to
That's
set
a big
sail
boy.
this morning. We don't know if the fish washed ashore after it died or beached itself.
Maybe this enormous fish is a good omen from the heavens. We might have a bountiful fishing season in the near future.
I approach the creature to get a closer look. The unease that has been lingering in my heart grows heavier. If I'm not mistaken, this is the calamitous Pisces that's mentioned in the ancient texts. It's a harbinger of misfortune, an omen of disaster. The dark clouds that appeared during the lunar eclipse haven't fully dissipated, and now the calamitous Pisces has appeared. Romirro can still sink below the waves. Oh my fucking god, not the drama. Not the drama. For now, I can only act as if nothing is wrong. Worry not. Find a suitable place to bury it and clean up this area.
Yes, Your Highness. By the way, Romirro was spared thanks to you and the sea god. The people want to prepare a feast to properly celebrate. They wish to invite you and the sea god.
I understand. We'll discuss it when the time comes. I walk toward the temple and I tighten my grip around the seashell necklace. The crack has deepened these past few days. The seashell has begun to fracture in other places as well. I don't want to guess what this means. I just need to see Raphael quickly. Maybe then I can dispel some of the unease in my heart. Raphael, I need to... Raphael? Stopping the storm that night consumed too much of Raphael's power. He's been staying in the temple to rest. Yet right now, I sense something is off. I don't hear the sound of flowing water by the pool. When I left, he was still dozing by the water's edge. I rushed to the pool only to find that the springs have dried up. The water resembles an inky black void. Worried that something happened to him, I dive into the water. The black water is unbearably cold. I grit my teeth and dive deeper. He appears to be unconscious as he sinks into this nothingness. Raphael! Don't do this to me right now. Mustering all the strength I can, I grab him. However, I'm not strong enough to pull him up. This won't work. I need to wake him up. I steady my breathing while I press my hand against his chest. I try to resonate so I can awaken some of his power. Yet time passes, and there's still no response. His power is like the dried up spring. With most of it gone, it cannot respond to my resonance or voice. Why is it like this? After the initial shock, I'm momentarily at a loss, and then I notice the churning currents rushing into the deep. A bold idea appears before me. There's a location that's closely connected to the sea god. I hold the unconscious Raphael tightly against me and swim in the direction of the current. Fortunately, my guess was correct. The pool's current is connected to the sea itself, which allowed me to successfully get Raphael out of the temple. I prop Raphael against the reef. Recalling how he summoned a Fantasia shark, I make the same gesture he did and bring my hands to my lips. I whistle. After many clumsy attempts, I finally succeed. A skeletal fantasia shark appears in the distance at the far end of the sea. Not the bone shark again. It swims to my side and uses its rigid, bony snout to give a friendly nudge to my hand. Can you take Raphael and me to the sea god's tomb again? It doesn't seem to understand what I'm saying, so I repeat myself several times. Finally, it extends its fin bone and gestures for Raphael and me to climb onto its back. Thank you. After I steady Raphael on its back, the Fantasia shark turns around and transports us to the ocean's depths. Unexpectedly, we arrive at the sea god's tomb with ease. Maybe it's because Raphael has already passed the trial. Even the guardian statue poses no challenge. After I explain the reason for our visit, they will allow us to pass through the stone gates.
Young sea god. Oh, it's you two.
Your quintessence, I'm here to make a request. I need your help. The statue of the sea god with the long beard lethargically lowers his weapon. He slowly turns his head to look at the unconscious Raphael.
He is about to fade from existence.
Well, that's not good.
He still needs to reclaim his true power. Yet he almost exhausted a small amount of divine energy he possesses.
What did he do to end up in such a state?
What
He
a
fucked me.
shame. He will become the youngest sea god to fade away in our history.
Several more sea god statues move out from their stone niches. They soon join the discussion. Is there a way to save him? He can't fade away like this.
Of course.
He needs true love.
He needs a heart that loves him unconditionally.
I'm here.
When
Wait,
he
did you-
obtains the power to protect Lemuria, and the ocean recognizes his ascension to godhood, he will live for a long, long time. An almost immortal life.
This is the only way to save him.
A heart that loves him unconditionally. I recall the hidden prophecy from the tomb of the sea god. A heart that's filled with love is the best offering for a Lemurian. Can my heart save him? The sea god speaks in hushed tones. Then the statue of the sea god with a long beard extends his hand toward me.
Are you willing to try?
Of course.
It will hurt. Bear with me for a moment.
The ancient sea god clenches his fist, and a sharp pain shoots through my heart. As he guides the process, several threads of gentle light are drawn out. Strand by strand, they flow into Raphael's chest. Enduring the lingering pain, I place my hand over him and try to resonate again. Respond.
Your pure heart and the devotion from your love is enough. However, you will dissipate into sea foam once you give up this heart. That decision is yours to make.
The sea god's tomb. How did I end up here?
You've been unconscious for a long time. The sea gods woke you up. I quickly speak before the sea gods can say anything. Then I bow respectfully to them. The sea god with the long beard gives me a profound, knowing look before slowly turning toward Raphael.
The last sea god of Lemuria. May you find true salvation.
Thank you.
The sea god statues slowly retreat into their niches. Raphael turns around, and I meet his intense gaze.
You're hiding something from me.
My titties. Nothing else. You're the one who's been hiding things from me.
We'll recover in a century, give or take.
You don't have a century, my guy. The prophecy hasn't changed, though. Romirro will still submerge. Yes? Seeing Raphael's expression, my heart sinks. I was correct.
Yes. But that doesn't mean it can't be changed. Romirro wasn't destroyed on the third night of the lunar eclipse. So for now, it won't sink below the waves. This is our turning point. Stop frowning. Let tomorrow worry about itself. As for the present...
He takes my hand and summons water currents to carry as a port.
It's almost dawn. We might be able to watch the sunrise as we head back.
After returning from the sea god's tomb, Raphael seems to have returned to his normal self. The water in the pool has become clearer again. He also doesn't spend the entire day inside the temple, and instead he enthusiastically takes me along to explore Romirro's streets, alleys, and the wilderness. Just a tiny fragment of this heart's power is enough to revitalize him. He received an entire heart. Perhaps I'm still selfish, faced with such a choice. I still cannot let go of my desire to live. I'm supposed to be sad, but a merman is on. I know. I'm like so conflicted right now, dude. I am not going to cry. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm so conflicted right now. Like his titties are looking at me, and I'm just like, but at the same time, I know it's going to happen. So I'm like, but at the same time, I'm looking down because I'm sad. And then his titties are right there, so then I go like, ugh. You know the kombucha girl, like, yeah. Clouds once again spread across the sky above Romirro. The time Raphael spends sleeping in the water increases with each passing day, and my necklace's seashell has developed a deeper, longer crack. Raphael, the sky has cleared. Should we go to the foot of Mount Onyuna? The rest of my words are stuck in my throat. A large section of Raphael's tail that's immersed in the water has turned a dull, gray-white.
You're overthinking it. Humans have all sorts of hair colors. Why can't my tail change color? So, what were you saying about the foot of Mount Onyuna?
I was just wondering if you'd like to go out for a walk. He pauses, and his sail sways gently beneath the water's surface.
I'm not in the mood.
He's so bratty. You can't turn your tail into a pair of legs anymore?
Your imagination is getting wilder by the day.
He parts the ripples on the water's surface. Under the undulating waves, his tail transforms into legs.
You wake me from my peaceful nap and throw an accusation.
He adjusts his position to rest his head on my lap. He closes his eyes.
You owe me a sweet dream.
Alright, Beyonce. Alright. I gently stroke to the top of his head, and then get down to kiss him. His shell around my neck dangles. It sways in front of Raphael's peaceful sleeping expression. The cracks on its surface are glaring. I grasp the seashell and gently try to wipe away those marks. I pretend not to see the scales on his legs. I pretend Raphael isn't showing any signs of something being off. I pretend that everything on this land will remain as peaceful as it is today. Several days later, bouquets, lanterns, and music. The plaza in the port is immersed in the sounds of celebration. It's like a grand farewell ceremony to disaster. Raphael stands far away from the humans. He watches the figure who's in the center of the crowd. She seems somewhat uncomfortable with that amount of enthusiasm. Slowly, however, the corners of her mouth curl. A slight smile appears on her face. He recalls those long stretches of time at the bottom of the silent ocean. The only sound he heard was the faint rattling of chains. With his eyes closed, he would construct an illusory world in his mind. He would imagine the splendor and wonder of Whalefall City and a place that had been long forgotten. Then a different voice broke into his world one day. Stupid Tom of the Sea God, you're worthless in every sense of the word. If you're actually useful, you would have revealed the Sea God's location. What gives you the right to only disclose the whereabouts of the bride of the Sea God? It was a discourteous voice. It could be considered too loud to a certain extent. Yet it was like the sun that occasionally appeared above the sea. He realized it was impossible to dislike. Using what little strength he had, he spoke to her for the first time. Perhaps their ending was already predetermined from that moment. The Sea God must kill his bride. Truly ascend to godhood, he must destroy their bond. He refused his fate before, but now he doesn't want to accept this either.
We might have to actually bid each other farewell.
He recalls the moment when she first spoke his name. With fingertips stained in their blood, he traced his name into the palm of her hand, one letter at a time. Even so, he couldn't intertwine his fate with hers along the lines of her palm. In this way, they were spared from separation.
I need to leave Romirro again. we won't be seeing each other for some time.
I frantically search for Raphael's figure in the crowd, but I only catch a message the sea breeze carry to me. Fortunately, our bond guides me to him. In a lit corner, I catch Raphael's fingers.
Are you scared I'd leave without saying goodbye?
Where are you going?
I'm just looking for pearls. Once I recover that part of my power, I'll return.
I don't believe you. His life force is fading away at an alarming rate. Under the illusion of an intact seashell lies a reality with cracks becoming increasingly more severe. His heart is also riddled with countless wounds. Ready to be Raphael's bathwater. Amen. Amen, sister. Amen. Tell me, no matter what it is, I'll do it. I'll be your bathwater. We need to laugh. We need to laugh at this because otherwise I can't cope. Just say that you want your heart back. I'll return it to you.
No.
How long will you be gone?
It's hard to say. Maybe it'll be a year or two, a century or more. Perhaps even longer than that. Don't worry. Even after I'm gone, you and Romirro will survive. This is a god's promise to you.
What is he planning to do? If he's making this kind of promise, it means he'll do something that I don't want to imagine. I won't be able to accept it. So, when are you leaving? Let me see you off.
All right. I'll wait for you at sea.
My fingernails dig into my palm. The hesitation that swirled in my heart has finally crystallized into resolve. I will fulfill the promise I once made.
It's a simple melody.
He
yet you
looks so
still haven't learned it properly.
beautiful. He looks so beautiful. Romirro taught me how to be a ruler, not a musician. I'm not ready.
Listen carefully. This is the last time I'll teach you.
It is indeed. The tides have changed.
The sea inevitably returns to where it belongs and separates from the land.
The way he kisses. Oh my.
You want to say something else?
Pray to the sea. Hope every ocean current carries it too bright. Yeah, I don't even. That it was once part of your heart.
The place you hold in my heart far outweighs this little scale.
Because of my selfishness. Don't do this to me right now, mate.
refuse to accept this betrayal. The sea god doesn't need this heart. Our bond, it cannot end this way. I won't allow it.
Turned into bubbles and he's crying pearls. Daylight has arrived. Tide surge. Oh. Daylight has arrived. The tides surge. Waves build upon waves. They're so powerful that they scatter the clouds in the sky. The black seawater bleeds crimson. Then the red fades and takes the darkness with it. The sea's original azure hues reappear. The bells in Romirro toll ceaselessly as massive waves engulf the world. The land is transformed into a seabed. Sea water envelops every house, every path of soil, every mountain range. It whispers and returns the memories from millions of years ago. Everyone steps onto a strange yet familiar homeland. They breathe the air that flows in the seawater. Lemurian memories awaken in their blood. Phantasmal whales leap from the water and return to the sea. They swim through the city that has been reborn. Whale Falls City. Sea god stares at his hand. There lies the pearl ring given to him by a young woman. It still gleams with a lustrous radiance. He gently encircles his finger. It's like her embrace that never let him go. It shall keep him bound to the sea forevermore. Fuck this game, man. Fuck this game. It's like I already knew what was going to happen, but like what the fuck? What were they thinking? I don't know. I really enjoyed this card, and I am really scared of what Infold is going to pull off with like Silas's new myth. I don't know. I am extremely sad. I am not going to lie. Is he still a sea god in the present, or is he just a Lemurian? I hope you had a good time. And with that in mind, stay safe, keep others safe, and don't forget, another day, another Raphael slay, because we need some slay after whatever happened. Thanks for stream. Thank you very much for tagging along, my babies. I love you guys so much. There you go.